Greetings, everybody, and welcome to my round number 3 matchup here. We've got myself taking on Chrissy CP. Let's go ahead and get into the game here. I am opening up with Relic War, and we see Chrissy CP here opening up with Deception. So they could either be playing Hidden Rush or Control Deception. The thing that I knew coming into scouting Chrissy CP is they have a big tendency towards control. So I'm fully expecting Control Deception here, and we get an absolutely horrible opening mulligan. We have 4 relics. Now, I kind of did this to myself in some ways, but yeah. But yeah, we obviously need to go face, but this can be problematic. We want burst, we want unrestrained power, and stuff like that. We see the Bronze Servant in the Sanctum as well, which is something that's not a pleasant sight. So here, Chrissy CP just goes ahead. They pass on 2, which confirms that they're playing a Control Deception list. And now I have a decision. Do I want to go face with the Blade of Sticks, or do I want to kill the minion? I elect to kill the minion. The reason why isn't because I'm worried about the minion damaging me. It's because I'm worried about accumulating favor. If he can accumulate favor and win the race for the Bronze Servant, that's not good for me. He goes ahead and plays another Patient Pickpocket, and he stole a Blade of Sticks off the first Patient Pickpocket. We knew he was getting a relic guaranteed, and that's what he got. Now here, we're going to go ahead and Savage Strike. The idea behind Savage Striking is, 1, we prevent them from stealing a card, and 2, we do get ahead in the favor race. We're wanting to win the race to acquire the Bronze Servant in the Sanctum. So I Need a Weapon is guaranteed to get magic missile launchers. I only run 6 relics in my list, 2 Scythe, 2 Blade of Sticks, and 2 magic missile launchers. And then we draw the other magic missile launcher. So this is very problematic for me because I'm going to effectively overdraw. I Need a Weapon's a dead card if I draw the last magic missile launcher. So I actually play it to thin my list, so I can't draw that. There is an I Need a Weapon in my list that's actually a completely dead card now. He goes ahead and Cutthroats, so he's going to take the boosted magic missile launchers. This isn't a shock at all. But here we just got to keep moving forward with damage, going face. In buying the Bronze Servant, we're already at just such an awkward position not to draw an Unrestrained, not to draw a Whetstone. If he ever puts down a front line here, we get in a very awkward spot. So the card that I'm scared of is Elkorith. If he's got Elkorith here, then we're probably losing. We're probably losing because we don't deal with it particularly easy. He plays the magic missile launchers, which wasn't a super effective line. We go ahead and play our magic missile launcher. Since it doesn't have God Blitz, I'll play that one first and keep the Scythe of the Harvest in hand. Keep in mind that Scythe of the Harvest in my hand is actually the last relic in my deck. I've burned through so many already. But here they're just playing a Blade Borrower and another Blade Borrower, which aren't very useful for my opponent. So here we have the option of basically just going face in GP. I'm going to go ahead and use the Auric Rush here to remove their 2 minions. We see that the Sanctum has frontline in it. The question is do we buy said frontline or not? I could buy it and play it. The issue with playing it is he has a Demogorgon, he can heal for 3 by playing it. So I didn't want to give his Demogorgon a potential target. So now he has the magic missile launchers and unable to kill it, so we have lethal next turn. So we ended up winning game number 1. Now we're going into game number 2. We're queuing with Anubian Death. It looks like Chrissy CP came out with Nature, maybe potentially anticipating a Hidden Rush build for myself. Getting caught guessing here. We see the Untold Green and a Siren of the Grave and a Ragnarok. It's actually not a horrendous hand at all, especially because I'm expecting probably more of an aggro-based nature list in entering this game. So here I'm debating on the mulligan. This isn't a super easy decision because I'm going second, so I've got four options. I can aim for the perfect card, and I'm going to get a little bit greedy and toss the Ragnarok. The reason why is because I can always play Untold Greed on the Siren of the Grave, and I actually value the card draw more than just a splash damage to all the minions. Here, I can't in good conscience mulligan away a Raving Necromancer because I do like to rave after all. And here, Chrissy CP, very bad turn one open. They open Pip Badger. Honestly, passing would have been smarter for them. Personally, I mean, I just know that they obviously don't have a great opening hand if that's their open. But they come out with Badger on one and they Badger on two. So not the best open at all for them, which is something we love to see. And we've got a great turn two option here. The Vile Reaver can eliminate one of the Badgers. We can play the Untold Greed and draw cards, get some value out of that. We get more card drawing with the Burrowing Scarab, which is something we love to see. The Pharaoh's Heirloom. And the general idea behind this is draw a lot of cards and then we just kill them by all of our minions always dying. So Christy CP has the Staff of Roots, which is going to get value and eliminate the Raving Necromancer, which is a good turn for them. And here, I'm going to elect to do the mana efficient play of playing the Pharaoh's Heirloom. There is an argument for playing Burrowing Scarab there, but I elected to go the route that is more mana efficient and sets up more options for next turn. We see the Reach in the Black in the hand. And we're going to have 4 Nubians in our Void, 2 of them with Blitz. So guaranteed to get a minimum of 1 Blitzer, could get 2 Blitzers off of it, which would be nice. And of course the best option would be to get the 2 Blitzers and the Raving Necromancer. And here they go ahead, low-hanging fruit, still hitting that God Power button a lot here. They're going to get the favor to purchase the Nightleaf Trapper is an option. They go ahead and do that. Now, when they do that, I can keep a mental note, and if I need something to pitch to Siren of the Grave, a Skull Scepter is actually not bad to just toss. Okay, normally you don't want to, but here I think it's probably going to end up being necessary. So now, is this an opportunity to reach into the black here? We get both Vile Reavers, and we get the Raving Necromancer, so we really drew perfectly right there. And I mean, we're 50-50 to get 2 Vile Reavers, but getting the Raving Necromancer alongside of it was really the perfect draw. And we're just going to leave them with an Apple Boy. We're going second, so we've got 3 of those pips, and it's already turn 4, and it's our first time digging down deep into those. So getting the Burrowing Scarab on the board gets more card draw generation for us and can get to our key cards. As you can see, we're holding 2 Siren of the Graves, which aren't really doing much right now. Luckily for me, our opponent is also not doing much right now. So they're going to play the Stag, and by playing the Stag, it has Blessed, so they might be getting a fair amount of favor here. They gain 6 favor from that, and they've got an Apple Boy here, and probably expecting another minion. They played the Faithflame Blade, and here we see an order of operations mistake from our opponent. They trade the Apple Boy first, and then they do double attack with the Faithflame Blade. So I got an extra trigger off of the Raving Necromancer than I should have. So little minor order of operations detail mistake from our opponent there gets us 1 extra damage of face. Now here we have a situation where we can play V-Rock. We've got Canopic Hoarder, and we've got Siren of the Grave. Canopic Hoarder with Siren of the Grave, we're just really going to get the card draw generation going. We draw Sulfuric Rain, which is very interesting here. I thought about empowering the Heirloom, but then I thought a little bit more about it and thought, you know, I would actually like to have the Heirloom next turn for when I play Sulfuric Rain, and then draw more cards that way, because the card draw generation is ultimately good for me. I end up buying the 2-3 in the Sanctum just to kind of fill the board, and unfortunately it gets replaced by Volka's Discovery, which wasn't really what I wanted behind. And they go ahead and go very, very wide and just remove my minion, which is inconvenient for me. And then they eat 8 points of damage. I'm one of the people who say that, health is a resource, but eating 8 against Anubians is quite painful. So now we're in a situation where we see the Valkos Discovery is in the Sanctum, and that is annoying. However, we are at 30, so even if they Valkos Discovery, they've only got 9 attack on board to wake up, so they're not going to be able to play that and buff their board. So I am going to go ahead and play Siren of the Grave, knowing very well that they might just wake everything up. I'm tossing the other Siren of the Grave because I don't think it's super necessary. We've already got the Canopic Hoarder, and I think this is going to be fine. And I want to make sure everything dies by Burn. So we're going to go ahead, Ragnarok, Pharaoh's Heirloom, and then the Sulfuric Rain on top of that will be able to wipe the entire board. In addition, we will be drawing 3 cards as well, which is very nice. So that is the key here. We were roping that turn, which is very rude of me. And here we go. The draw 3 cards, and we see we've got Land of the Dead and Priestess of the Cat. And we also see our opponent is at 9. So we have a lot of potential burst. Very likely to kill our opponent next turn, depending on what they do. They go ahead, just drop a Marshwalker, that is fine. But we have a very good hand. They need to do some Void elimination stuff here to get themselves back in the game. They're already probably going to overdraw with all the Sulfuric Rain madness, and it doesn't help that the Stag has generated them a random card. They go ahead, buy the Valkos Discovery. This will let them attack and get their 9 points of damage in. Unfortunately for them, that's not really enough to make me sweat. And by playing the Black Jaguar and the Marshwalker, we can officially play Land of the Dead and have Priestess of the Cat. Now, notice here, watch the rope. We start very, very low on the rope, and then look at the overdraw here. They're overdrawing all these cards, and meanwhile my rope is just like, yeah, it's there. We are basically living immediately on the rope because of all the overdraw action. And I noticed, oh wait, I gotta click fast as soon as I come back there. I noticed right after the void spot. We pick 5 minions. The reason why we pick 5 is because I wanted to pip out the Priestess of Takat. And yeah, we do have time to complete this turn, but it was just interesting because the rope sometimes does catch you. So we get the win in this round. We advance to 2-1 in this tournament. Now instead of needing to win 6 in a row, we need to win 5 in a row. And yeah, see you next round.